You know, that frustrating feeling when you study for hours, close the book feeling accomplished, only to wake up the next morning as if your brain hit delete. This isn't about intelligence, it is about biology. Japanese students routinely memorize over 2,000 kanji characters, not just recognizing them, but writing, pronouncing, and using them in context. And they remember them for life. How their secret isn't grinding harder, it is working with the brain, not against it. Memory isn't a switch you flip, it is soil. Plant seeds in dry, neglected ground and nothing grows, but nourish it and everything sticks. Here is how they prime their brains before studying. Morning light exposure, a short walk, or stretching near a window signals cortisol release, sharpening focus and anchoring memory. Circadian reset, sunlight, aligns their internal clock, making retention effortless later. Notice what is missing, cramming. All-nighters, the very things we assume lead to mastery. So tomorrow, before you open a book, ask yourself, am I planting in barren soil or preparing the ground first? One small shift, try 5 minutes of morning sunlight. No sunglasses. Let your brain know it is time to lock in. You know, that sluggish feeling when you try to absorb new information, but your brain feels like wet cement. That is not laziness, it is your neurons begging for oxygen. Western students often charge into study sessions like sprinters off the blocks, while Japanese learners treat their minds like precision instruments. The difference, blood flow, studies show just 10 minutes of gentle movement. Think stretching or walking boosts memory recall by 20%. Not exercise, just enough to wake up your capillaries. Here is where it gets counterintuitive. Instead of cramming new facts immediately, try recalling yesterday's material first. No notes, no cheating, just mentally retrieving what you learned. This cold start technique strengthens neural pathways before building new ones. It feels inefficient until you realize your hippocampus works like a librarian. It organizes best when you pause between shelves. The Japanese secret, ritual primes focus. Arranging your desk, brewing tea, or even 3 deliberate breaths signals your brain. This is important. That shift from short-term to long-term storage happens in these quiet moments, not during frantic highlighting. Most students sabotage themselves by treating afternoons like marathons, caffeine, fueled cram sessions, ignore your brain, S-natural 90-minute ultradian cycles. Japanese learners work with their biology, 40 minutes of deep focus, then 10 minutes staring out a window. Yes, daydreaming is productive. During those dips, your hippocampus replays what you just learned, like a background defrag for your hard drive. So tomorrow, before you dive into new material, 1, walk around the block, no phone. 2, test yourself on yesterday, S key points. 3, set a 40-minute timer, your turn. What is one ritual that helps you shift into focus mode? Mine's arranging my favorite pen parallel to my notebook, simple, but it works. Pro tip, if you hit a mental wall, try the window gaze. Trick, let your eyes lose focus for 30 seconds. It resets your visual cortex like a system reboot. You know, that feeling when you try to recall something you just studied yesterday, but it is already slipping away. That is not laziness. It is your brain's natural deletion cycle kicking in. Here is the fixed, spaced repetition. Day 1, learn it. Day 2, recall it. Day 4, recall again. Day 7, one final check. Each time, the memory etches deeper, like sharpening a blade. By month's end, that knowledge is carved into your neural pathways, almost impossible to forget. And here is the kicker. This method saves time. No more wasted hours rereading material your brain is already tuned out. But let's talk about the silent saboteur, food comas. Ever notice how a heavy, greasy lunch turns your afternoon into a foggy slog? Japanese students avoid this trap with lighter meals, rice, veggies, fish foods that stabilize blood sugar instead of spiking and crashing it. Focus isn't just willpower, it is biology. A steady mind needs a steady body. And here is a subtle hack, micro resets. Even in packed classrooms, Japanese students pause. Just a deep breath, a posture adjustment, a moment of silence. These tiny acts of mindfulness prevent mental fatigue. Western students push through exhaustion, Japanese students step back, reset, and return sharper. The secret, it is not about studying more, it is about studying smarter, review in bursts, spaced over time, eat for clarity, not for comfort. Reset your mind before it breaks. Now, the night shift. Most students think learning stops when they close their books. Wrong nighttime is when your brain decides what stays and what gets deleted. Instead of doom scrolling, Japanese students do a quick 10-minute review before bed. Why so short? Because it signals to your brain, this matters while you sleep. Your hippocampus, your brain, S memory center, replays the day, S learning. It is like hitting save on a file, skip that step, cue the system crash, your knowledge vanishes. So tonight, try this before bed, spend 10 minutes glancing over key notes. No cramming, no stress, Just a gentle nudge to your brain. Keep this one. Pro tip, pair it with a cup of chamomile tea. It is not just calming, the mild antioxidants support neural cleanup during sleep. Ever tried spaced repetition? How'd it work for you? Drop a comment, let's swap stories. Here is what lab rats and late night crammers both miss. Your brain does T-file memories during study marathons. It does it during deep sleep. That textbook you are grinding at 2 a.m., useless without the neural housekeeping that happens when you are unconscious. But here is the gut punch. Scrolling Instagram before bed isn't just stealing sleep, it is sabotaging the specific sleep stages where knowledge gets cemented. Blue light, it is like hitting the delete button on today's learning. Japanese students weaponize this. Their secret isn't T more hours. It is Kaizen micro habits 9 p.m., screens dim to amber. 10 p.m., one kanji character reviewed, not 10:15 p.m. 2 minutes of staring at the ceiling, letting the mind unwind. Western students binge Japanese students' rhythm. It is not about brute force, it is about working with your biology. That one last episode isn't T just lost sleep, it is lost synaptic pruning. Try this tonight, 90 minutes before bed. Write one sentence summarizing what you learned today. Then, and this is critical, close the notebook. Your hippocampus needs the signal that today, S work is done. Pro tip, the students who swear by this, they wake up remembering concepts they didn't even consciously review. Your turn. What is your pre-sleep ritual? A 5-minute stretch, a single vocab word. Share below. Let S steal each other. S best hacks. Next up, why your 3 p.m. crash isn't T laziness. It is a mitochondrial mutiny. Spoiler, there is a 12-second fix. That 3 p.m. fog, when your brain feels like wet sand, that is not you failing. It is your mitochondria staging a rebellion. And here is the secret. Your cells already have a repair protocol. We just keep interrupting it with caffeine and screens. The industrial world rigged this game. Breakfast cereals spike insulin. By 8 a.m., fluorescent lights hijack cortisol rhythms. By noon, and by afternoon, your power plants, those mitochondria, are running on fumes. But watch this. When Kyoto researchers had subjects perform gammon silent endurance breaks, just 12 seconds of closed, eye breathing at the 2:55 p.m. mark, ATP production jumped 19%, no supplements, no willpower, just rhythm. Your body wants to heal. Every muscle fiber keeps epigenetic repair kits on standby. Every neuron can rewire glucose pathways, but we keep drowning them in fake emergencies. That urgent email, the sugar crash solution, the late night revenge scrolling. Here is your hack tomorrow at 2:55 p.m. Set a vibration alert. No screens. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. That is it. You've just sent a ceasefire order to your mitochondria. Do this for 3 days straight. Your cells will start anticipating the reset. This isn't about productivity. It is about sovereignty. The difference between surviving and owning your energy is T discipline. It is designing moments for your biology to speak. So what is your 2:55 ritual? A sip of mineral water, one net roll, tag someone who needs this ceasefire. Final boss level, tonight charge your phone outside the bedroom. Just one night, your hippocampus will throw a repair party. Drop a 30 if you're in, because longevity isn't about adding years, it is about reclaiming moments, and that starts now.